This man is one of South Africa's many pride and joys, and his name is Trevor Noah. He is currently the host of The Daily Show in America. Trevor Noah was born under the apartheid regime. Apartheid, not apartheid, apartheid. And this would mean he was born a crime since he's mixed race, and it was illegal for any of the races to mingle, I guess.
It was apartheid, but my parents didn't care. They were renegades, yeah, mavericks. My mom was a true maverick. She was like, ooh, I'm going to get a white man. Shoo. And then my dad was obviously, well, you know how the Swiss love chocolate.
Trevor Noah has become the most successful comedian in South Africa. And I feel like he's the most successful comedian I've ever seen from Africa. This is all due to him being a comedic genius. I feel like he has the best impersonations, his jokes are so diverse, and he has an amazing way of delivering everything so that everybody can understand. But can that be said for his books as well? Is he actually a good writer? And is his book, Born a Crime, worth the read?
Wah, wah, wah. Wah, wah, wah.
Hola, it's Nola. So I've been trying to record this video so many times, but it's so difficult because I just got so many personal things that I want to say, and I can't put that in here. Number one, obviously, I love Trevor Noah. I love Trevor Noah. Like, from the first day I watched Trevor Noah, I was just like, damn, who is this guy? He just stepped up onto the scene and he delivered. He delivered. I remember the first time watching him, my mom's friend was like, yo, Kele, we have to watch this guy. We watched that guy and we were glued to the screen. And ever since that day, he's stuck like the English tough he is. He's stuck. And I just remember going back to my friends and saying, hey, there is this guy, he's doing it, he's killing it. But that's how hot Trevor Noah was in South Africa. He is hot. He is the name of the names. Okay, you can't be South African and not know Trevor Noah. Trevor Noah is liked by everyone. I think that's the first thing. He just nails that diversity thing down to the core. And he just, man, he embraces, he welcomes, and he just caters for each and every single one in his comedy. And that's like the best thing about him. So he is like our rugby team, he just brought us together, not only in sports, but in humor. And we needed that. And he was that. Now, when it comes to his book, Born a Crime, which is the book review, I'm not going to review his jokes, okay? Even though his jokes are what? Get me going. Not that way. Oh my gosh. No, but his book. So let's talk about this book. Number one, I never expected such a well-written book from a comedian. I'm not gonna say that comedians are bad at writing or anything, but the funny kid in the class, you never expect the funny kid in the class to have like some A-grade writing skills. No, you never expect that. So he came up and he showed me something else. That's all I'm gonna say. And I love the way he packaged that book. It was so well written. Number one, it wasn't overwhelming. Number two, he had a lot of topics that he spoke about, and the way he structured it was so perfect because it didn't make it overwhelming. And he had a really tragic story to tell, and he just like sprinkled his humor. Like, it was like dark humor, but it didn't feel like dark humor, and that's what made it the bomb. And he sort of made those emotions fade, so it wasn't like too heavy and too intense when he was addressing really hard topics. Like, he addressed abuse and having issues with his father. There were like just moments in the book where you would honestly bust a tear. And the little crybaby I was crying over there, especially when it came to him discussing his issues with his father. Oh my gosh. Did I not cry? I cried. I cried because another thing about his book is that it really is relatable. And that's why everybody likes Trevor Noah. His jokes are relatable, but his book pushed that boundary even further. He was like, you think I was only relatable on stage? Check out my life. You probably went through the same thing. And that's true. It really hit close to home. Not only was it close to home, saying that we live in the same province and his home is probably like an hour away from my home, but honestly, what he went through as a child is probably what most South Africans went through as well. And that's just like, you know, reading that book, it doesn't put you down. It doesn't say, oh, it's so sad what happened to us as South Africans or anything like that. Like, I feel as if Trevor is saying, hey, listen, I know we all go through the most, we struggle, we hustle, we do all that stuff, but we can always conquer all these things, and we should not let our past and our issues define us, and you should strive to be the best that you can. And that's exactly what he did, and that's why I love this book. Okay, it makes me emotional, guys. Hold on. So as I said, he did discuss a lot of topics, and a lot of topics that are really key in South Africa. I feel like it's just a perfect package of South African culture and a South African childhood, and just it's so South African. I think that's the most South African book that we can find at this point. Not really. I mean, there are a lot of other South African books, but that one, if you just want to go to somebody and be like, hey, I'm from South Africa, read this book, that would be the book. Okay, that would be the book that I'll put that proudly South African stamp on and be like, yeah, learn about my country, because he discussed a lot of things that his stories revolved around a really popular object, thing, or concept in South Africa. For example, there was a part where he was talking about a spatlo, like a bunny chow, which a bunny chow and a spatlo is not the same thing, guys. If anybody can please just, let's put it out there, it's not the same thing. It's almost the same thing, it's not the same thing. A spatlo, everybody knows what a spatlo is in South Africa, and he sort of explains what it is for a foreign reader, and that puts you into the perspective. It's not like he's just talking about his life and not giving you any background or anything like that. He gives you background, he educates you. He discusses these things, and the way he does it, it's just, yeah, he hits it on the nail. I'm gonna just name a couple of things that he discussed. He discussed things like black tax, the racism in South Africa. He discussed his childhood, his coming of age. And what I also took away from this book is, for me personally in my life, I've seen this trend of that women in South Africa are really the backbone to the country. And this is because we do have a really huge issue when it comes to the paternal side of the family. And maybe not all families have this, but it's a really common thing that you would see more women in a family than men. And he really, yeah, man, he got the essence of that story. And that's where I cried. I was just like, women are really doing the most in South Africa. And honestly, men need to step up. For me, when I read it, this book was him thanking his mother. His mother is a constant character in the book. There's not a part in the book where his mother is absent. That's the message it conveys to you, is how consistent and present women are in the society. And also it's him thanking the woman in his life, well, mostly his mother, and what she has done for him. What I've taken away from this book is that you have to be mentally free, and Trevor conveys this message in an astounding way, because he puts all these obstacles, all these issues, all this trauma, all these problems in your face before he gets to the part of his success. And he only starts speaking about his success at the end of the book briefly. He puts that at the end of the book, and he sort of shows you that even though you could be coming from whatever, you've got to train yourself to be mentally free, to aspire to your own goals. Don't let anything define you around you. You make that life for yourself. And he in a way draws that back to how his mother raised him. And you can see how his mother encouraged him to be free and not ever, ever, ever put himself in boundaries when it comes to race, money, education-wise, anything. His mother showed him that there are no limitations in life. And there are a couple of quotes that I really love, but those quotes really, they stuck to me. And it shows how they also impacted Trevor Noah a lot and how they stuck to him as well. Because where he's at, it shows of really good upbringing. Without that, I'm not sure if Trevor would still be successful or anything like that. But that was very key and fundamental. So that is what I have to say about this book. I mean, basically, overall, for me, it was very emotional. And I liked it. Oof, this book made me like Trevor Noah worse. If you thought I was crazy about him before, I am crazier than ever about him now. So that's basically what I have to say about this book. I wish I could do it more justice to tell you what an amazing book it is, but I just can't find the words to say it. I am speechless. I am honestly speechless. And every time I try to speak about it, I just start crying. Man, if Trevor did it, we can do it. We could all do it. Yeah. Thank you. Bye-bye.